Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
A very short time, as the time it takes the eye to blink or the heart to beat. A particular point in time. Occurring with no delay. Relief was instantaneous. Demanding attention. An instant need. In or of the present month. A very short time, as the time it takes the eye to blink or the heart to beat. A lamp for providing momentary light to take a photograph. A very short time, as the time it takes the eye to blink or the heart to beat. If I had the chance, I'd do it in a flash. A short news announcement concerning some ongoing news story. A burst of light used to communicate or illuminate. A short, vivid experience. A flash of emotion swept over him. Run or move very quickly or hastily. Tastelessly showy. A flash car. Gleam or glow intermittently. The lights were flashing. A gaudy outward display. Display proudly. Act ostentatiously or pretentiously. A bright patch of color used for decoration or identification. Red flashes adorned the airplane. A momentary brightness. Appear briefly. The headlines flashed on the screen. A sudden brilliant understanding. He had a flash of intuition. A sudden intense burst of radiant energy. Emit a brief burst of light. A shooting star flashed and was gone. Expose or show briefly. He flashed a $100 bill. Make known or cause to appear with great speed. The latest intelligence is flashed to all command posts. Protect by covering with a thin sheet of metal. Flash the roof. A very short time, as the time it takes the eye to blink or the heart to beat. The rhythmic contraction and expansion of the arteries with each beat of the heart. An animating or vital unifying force. New York is the commercial heartbeat of America. A very short time, as the time it takes the eye to blink or the heart to beat. A very short time, as the time it takes the eye to blink or the heart to beat. A very short time, as the time it takes the eye to blink or the heart to beat. A very short time, as the time it takes the eye to blink or the heart to beat. Raise with a line. Trice a window shade. Hoist up or in and lash or secure with a small rope. A very short time, as the time it takes the eye to blink or the heart to beat. Shining intermittently with a sparkling light. Twinkling stars. A very short time, as the time it takes the eye to blink or the heart to beat. Keep back by blinking. Gleam or glow intermittently. Briefly shut the eyes. A reflex that closes and opens the eyes rapidly. Closing one eye quickly as a signal. Signal by winking. She winked at him. An indefinitely short time. It only takes a minute. Infinitely or immeasurably small. 2-minute whip-like threads of protoplasm. A particular point in time. A unit of time equal to 60 seconds or 1/60th of an hour. He ran a 4-minute mile. Distance measured by the time taken to cover it. It's just 10 minutes away. Characterized by painstaking care and detailed examination. A minute inspection of the grounds. A unit of angular distance equal to a 60th of a degree. A short note. The secretary keeps the minutes of the meeting. Having important effects or influence. Virtue is of more moment than security. An indefinitely short time. Wait just a moment. A particular point in time. The moment he arrived, the party began. At this time. She is studying at the moment. A turning force produced by an object acting at a distance, or a measure of that force. The nth moment of a distribution is the expected value of the nth power of the deviations from a fixed value. An indefinitely short time. A 60th part of a minute of arc. The treasure is 2 minutes and 45 seconds south of here. A particular point in time. Merchandise that has imperfections, usually sold at a reduced price without the brand name. A speech seconding a motion. Do I hear a second? Give support or one's approval to. I'll second that motion. 1/60th of a minute, the basic unit of time adopted under the Système International d'Unités. Coming next after the first in position in space or time or degree or magnitude. The gear that has the second lowest forward gear ratio in the gearbox of a motor vehicle. He had to shift down into second to make the hill. In the second place. Second, we must consider the economy. The fielding position of the player on a baseball team who is stationed near the second of the bases in the infield. A part or voice or instrument or orchestra section lower in pitch than or subordinate to the first. Second flute. Following the first in an ordering or series. He came in a close second. The official attendant of a contestant in a duel or boxing match. Transfer an employee to a different, temporary assignment. The officer was seconded for duty overseas. Occurring with no delay. Relief was instantaneous. Demanding attention. Clamant needs. Conspicuously and offensively loud, given to vehement outcry. Demanding attention. A crying need. Conspicuously and outrageously bad or reprehensible. A crying shame. The process of shedding tears, usually accompanied by sobs or other inarticulate sounds. I hate to hear the crying of a child. Requiring precise accuracy. Became more exigent over his pronunciation. Demanding attention. Regarded literary questions as exigent and momentous. Repetitive and persistent. The Blue Jays' insistent cry. Demanding attention. Insistent hunger. In or of the present month. Your letter of the 10th inst. Unwavering in devotion to friend or vow or cause. Fast friends. Firmly or closely. Held fast to the rope. Securely fixed in place. hurried and brief. A fast visit. Abstaining from food. Unrestrained by convention or morality. Fast women. Abstain from certain foods, as for religious or medical reasons. Catholics sometimes fast during Lent. Abstain from eating. Before the medical exam, you must fast. Acting or moving or capable of acting or moving quickly. Fast film. At a rapid tempo. The band played a fast foxtrot. Of a photographic lens or emulsion, causing a shortening of exposure time. A fast lens. Of surfaces, conducive to rapid speeds. A fast road. Resistant to destruction or fading. Fast colors. Used of timepieces, indicating a time ahead of or later than the correct time. My watch is fast. A mood that expresses an intention to influence the listener's behavior. Relating to verbs in the imperative mood. Requiring attention or action. As nuclear weapons proliferate, preventing war becomes imperative. Some duty that is essential and urgent. Perform, a play, especially on a stage. The period of time that is happening now. Any continuous stretch of time including the moment of speech. That is enough for the present. Give, especially as an honor or reward. Introduce. A verb tense that expresses actions or states at the time of speaking. Represent abstractly, for example in a painting, drawing, or sculpture. Hand over formally. Deliver, a speech, oration, or idea. The commencement speaker presented a forceful speech that impressed the students. Give an exhibition of to an interested audience. Cause to come to know personally. Give as a present. Make a gift of. Bring forward and present to the mind. We presented the arguments to him. Recognize with a gesture prescribed by a military regulation. Assume a prescribed position. Present somebody with something, usually to accuse or criticize. Being or existing in a specified place. The murderer is present in this room. Formally present a debutante, a representative of a country, etc. Something presented as a gift. His tie was a present from his wife. Temporal sense. Intermediate between past and future, now existing or happening or in consideration. The present leader. An indefinitely short time. In just a bit. A small fragment. A small amount of solid food, a mouthful. All they had left was a bit of bread. A small piece or quantity of something. A bit of paper. A short performance that is part of a longer program. A small fragment of something broken off from the whole. A bit of rock caught him in the eye. An instance of some kind. He had a bit of good luck. A unit of measurement of information, from binary plus digit. The amount of information in a system having two equiprobable states. There are 8 bits in a byte. Piece of metal held in horse's mouth by reins and used to control the horse while riding. The horse was not accustomed to a bit. The cutting part of a drill, usually pointed and threaded and is replaceable in a brace or bitstock or drill press. He looked around for the right size bit. The part of a key that enters a lock and lifts the tumblers. An indefinitely short time. Wait just a moment. A Midwestern state in central United States, a border state during the American Civil War, Missouri was admitted to the Confederacy without actually seceding from the Union. A polyvalent metallic element that resembles chromium and tungsten in its properties, used to strengthen and harden steel. Be oriented. The weather vane points north. Sail close to the wind. Repair the joints of bricks. Point a chimney. Any of 32 horizontal directions indicated on the card of a compass. He checked the point on his compass. Be a signal for or a symptom of. Her behavior points to a severe neurosis. A specific identifiable position in a continuum or series or especially in a process. A distinct part that can be specified separately in a group of things that could be enumerated on a list. The main point on the agenda was taken up first. An outstanding characteristic. His acting was one of the high points of the movie. A V shape. The cannibal's teeth were filed to sharp points. A contact in the distributor. As the rotor turns, its projecting arm contacts them and current flows to the spark plugs. The dot at the left of a decimal fraction. Direct into a position for use. Point a gun. Indicate a place, direction, person, or thing, either spatially or figuratively. He pointed to the empty parking space. The property of a shape that tapers to a sharp tip. The gun muzzle's direction. He held me up at the point of a gun. A V-shaped mark at one end of an arrow pointer. The point of the arrow was due north. An isolated fact that is considered separately from the whole. A point of information. A wall socket. An instant of time. At that point I had to leave. A very small circular shape. A row of points. Direct the course. Determine the direction of traveling. Give a point to. Intend something, to move towards a certain goal. A punctuation mark, placed at the end of a declarative sentence to indicate a full stop or after abbreviations. A brief version of the essential meaning of something. Get to the point. A distinguishing or individuating characteristic. He knows my bad points as well as my good points. A geometric element that has position but no extension. A point is defined by its coordinates. A linear unit used to measure the size of type, approximately 1/72 inch. A promontory extending out into a large body of water. They sailed south around the point. A style in speech or writing that arrests attention and has a penetrating or convincing quality or effect. Be positionable in a specified manner. The gun points with ease. Indicate the presence of game by standing and pointing with the muzzle. The dog pointed the dead duck. Mark, a psalm text, to indicate the points at which the music changes. Mark, Hebrew words, with diacritics. Mark with diacritics. Point the letter. 1% of the total principal of a loan. It is paid at the time the loan is made and is independent of the interest on the loan. Sharp end. He stuck the point of the knife into a tree. The object of an activity. What is the point of discussing it? The precise location of something, a spatially limited location. She walked to a point where she could survey the whole street. The unit of counting in scoring a game or contest. He scored 20 points in the first half. An instant of time. The most appropriate time for achieving a desired effect. The latest possible moment. At the last minute, the government changed the rules. A reading of a point in time is given by a clock. Do you know what time it is? Rhythm is given by division into parts of equal duration. An instance or single occasion for some event. This time he succeeded. The period of time a prisoner is imprisoned. He is doing time in the county jail. Measure the time or duration of an event or action or the person who performs an action in a certain period of time. The fourth coordinate that is required, along with 3 spatial dimensions, to specify a physical event. Adjust so that a force is applied and an action occurs at the desired time. The good player times his swing so as to hit the ball squarely. An indefinite period, usually marked by specific attributes or activities. The time of year for planting. A period of time considered as a resource under your control and sufficient to accomplish something. Take time to smell the roses. A person's experience on a particular occasion. He had a time holding back the tears. Assign a time for an activity or event. The candidate carefully timed his appearance at the disaster scene. A suitable moment. It is time to go. Regulate or set the time of. Time the clock. Set the speed, duration, or execution of. We time the process to manufacture our cars very precisely. The continuum of experience in which events pass from the future through the present to the past. He waited for a long time. End, especially to reach a final or climactic stage. The moment of most intense pleasure in sexual intercourse. The highest point of anything conceived of as growing or developing or unfolding. The climax of the artist's career. The decisive moment in a novel or play. The deathbed scene is the climax of the play. Arrangement of clauses in ascending order of forcefulness. The most severe stage of a disease. A final climactic stage. Their achievements stand as a culmination of centuries of development. The decisive moment in a novel or play. A concluding action. Astronomy, a heavenly body's highest celestial point above an observer's horizon.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.